the political atmosphere in Kwara State, north central Nigeria, is getting charged ahead of the 2023 election. Reminiscent of the Otoge campaign, a pro-democracy group in the state, Kwara Rebuilders, has warned former Senate President Bukola Saraki against flamboyant, disrespectful, and insulting conduct. In a statement issued by its publicity secretary, Abdullahi Abdugani, the group said Saraki and his team conducted themselves in an unrefined and degrading manner when they threw wads of money from the former governor's car for people to scamper for, while security details whipped defenseless citizens at the Ilroin Central Mosque. The group warns against the repeat of such anti-democratic and uncivilized behavior in the state. Let's share the video of the throwing of Naira notes with you. These guys, they've so much impoverished their people, they've weaponized poverty, so at any opportunity to make them to come and be subservient, to come and, anything that would make them to come and shout Rankadidi is what they're always looking for. I remember this is a culture that people will go in thousands, will go to their house in the morning, they will eat, they'll come back in the afternoon, they will eat. They were thinking that, oh, this man is such a magnanimous politician, not knowing that, look, it doesn't make sense. Why can't you empower people, teach people how to catch fishes than giving out stipends and, giving out money to them?
I think, first of all, the people of Kwara are the dignified people of long history, dating back to hundreds of centuries, and they are cultured. But since 1960, there has been a sham grip to redefine the sociology of the people in Kwara. And I think the Saraki dynasty played a very significant role in this aspect. There is this concept of thinking that cosmetic gains, which is momentary, which reinforces the illusion that your destiny is in the hands of few people, as against institutional provisions of what people something like sustainable. It has been that kind of pattern since the 1960s.
You come and eat breakfast in your house, and lunch in your house, dinner in your house.
In the last election,
and they're so grateful.
They never knew that that there would be a paradigm shift. So the PDP and the Lords, they lost that election. So there is a conscious effort to come back, and that's why they are resorting to this. I've not seen this kind of thing for, at least for the past 3 years, this kind of, unless now that election is coming again. So throwing money around, it diminishes the humanity of the people that are, scrambling for that money. And also, it's a minus for the actor that thinks that the best way you can, help the people,
capture the hearts of the people back,
is to portray them as hungry people, as animals scrambling from the garbage. So I think it's not a good thing at all. And I hope that the people will reject this kind of label on Kwara, which is something that's an embarrassment to many of us who are conscious of the history of that place and who are interested to see a kind of paradigm shift in the way things happen in that place. And I think there has been some changes in terms of what the current governor is doing. If you look at provision of water services, provision of hospitals, Kwara State now has the biggest intensive care unit in the whole of North Central. They managed to access 7 billion from the UBEC fund, which had been locked since 2014. And they are touching almost all the 600 schools, secondary and primary schools. They are raising the IGR, the first quarter of this year, they were able to make about 9-something billion against the target of 29 billion. So it's significant. They are providing, instead of building borehole in your house and giving people in a teaspoonful to people, they are building water, in rural areas. And I think for the first time, the people of Kwara are saying that every local government, 16 local governments, the governor is touching all these areas. So I think, I hope that he will be able to sustain that momentum, because there's also a challenge with the current governor in terms of the challenge he has is
He's not distributing money.
no, in terms of addressing the internal cleavages, division within his own party. But in terms of performance, in terms of meeting, the needs of people, health services, water provision, roads, I think there has been a kind of fundamental change in the way things used to be, when Saraki dynasty was in power.
Bukola lost it all in 2015. The People's Democratic Party, so to say, that dynasty, all the House of Assembly, they lost the seats, the senatorial seats, they lost all, the governorship and the House of Reps. So this 2019, they tried in 2019 to stage a comeback. It wasn't, Now, in 2023, Bukola Saraki will still want to get back this, his kingdom.
Yeah, it boils down to what we have just said, that there is this sense of entitlement in every one of them, or all these politicians. But the thing that first came to my mind, seeing that video, is it took me back to my childhood when my mother used to rear chicken. And there will be this grain inside this box, and immediately you jingle it like this, the chicken will rush to you, and then you begin to push it to them, and then they scatter. I mean, this is completely dehumanizing. But you see, the problem is that most of our politicians engage in this kind of thing. And it is a way of weaponizing poverty. You want to use people's poverty. You want to impoverish them so much so that when they hear that you are in town, they rush to your home. I schooled in Kwara, and I know what it means. In those days, when you see them, they will carry themselves and troop there. That era should be gone by now. I mean, look at this.
This is 2022.
It is 2022. It's totally dehumanizing. I mean, as I said, it just gave me that picture of my childhood when my mom used to jingle that thing, and all the chicken will rush and come, and it's totally dehumanizing. In this way now, many people have been wounded. And for somebody who is hungry, why will they not rush to this kind of thing? And if you check very well, perhaps the highest note there may be 200. Yeah. It may not even be 500. It won't be 1,000.
Even if it's 1,000.
So even if it is 1,000, I mean, in Nigeria
doesn't
of
matter.
today,
What's with 1,000 notes?
In the Nigeria of today, people, you so dehumanize people to this point, it's totally shameful. And our politicians must begin to learn that this is a very, very unacceptable thing that they are doing. Every one of them.
All right.